Hey everyone, my name is Joanna, and in this video I'm going to show you the high school art portfolio that I submitted to Pratt Institute. I was accepted to Pratt Institute and I am a senior there currently in the 2D animation program. So if you're looking for an example of a portfolio that was accepted, I'm hoping that mine will be useful to you. First of all, this website, I don't remember if Pratt asked for a portfolio website or if they had their own website that they wanted you to upload photographs to. But these are the artworks that I sent to Pratt regardless. So here's a piece that I did in AP Art. Here's a portrait that I made at pre-college. It wasn't really something that was part of the pre-college program. And by the way, I went to pre-college at Pratt MWP in Utica. I did not go for any amount of time to Pratt MWP for college, only for pre-college. They do not have a 2D animation program at Pratt MWP, and I don't think any of the credits from Pratt MWP transferred to Pratt in Brooklyn for freshman year. Same with AP Art. Actually, from high school, I'm not sure that any of my AP credits transferred to Pratt. Especially not like history or Latin, a few of the AP credits I had. This is another piece that I made in AP Art. And another one. This one was life drawing in charcoal. Same with this one. I used two different kinds of charcoal for that one. This one was from pre-college. It was part of the curriculum for the illustration pre-college program that I was at. It was just an interesting one to throw in there. I don't think it really shows a lot of technical skill, but it was a weird one. And if you've been to Pratt MWP, you might recognize this as the coffee shop down the street from it. In the background, I mean. This is part of what made that last piece interesting, is that I had these process images for it. This is old digital art. Well, it wasn't old at the time, obviously. I'm just saying it's old because I don't like it anymore. I had a few digital pieces in here that weren't tied to any art classes. I was just working with digital art at the time, and I wanted to show that I had some experience with it. I don't think I made any of them in Photoshop. No, I didn't draw in Photoshop back then. I drew in a free program called Fire Alpaca. And I would recommend that program for beginners with digital art because Photoshop can be kind of overwhelming, and there's a lot of tools in Fire Alpaca that are really fun to work with, really intuitive for somebody who's new to digital art. It's sort of its own medium to learn. I had a Wacom Intuos tablet at the time, but I've since recently upgraded to a Cintiq. Very recently, like this year because of quarantine. Those things are expensive. If you don't have the money for a Cintiq, you could look into a Artisul tablet. I'll have to write that on the screen. Artisul. It's a type of tablet that my friends use that's apparently a lot more price friendly. But I did opt for the Cintiq because Wacom has very good warranty type deals. Like, I've had to replace my Intuos tablet twice in the time that I've had an Intuos tablet, and both times it was completely free because it was still under warranty. Another little digital piece where I used a photo in the background. This one was kind of cool for composition. And this one, I'm glad I don't shade like that anymore, but it was interesting because of the shading and everything. I didn't have a lot of scenes with characters interacting at the time. This was when I made an AP art, but I I took charge for how I was going to do this assignment. I used a bunch of different photos of martens, the type of animal that I like, and I composited them. I learned how to draw them, and then I drew them all onto this page. I was very proud of my portrait work at the time. You did see earlier a portrait that I did of myself. This one was from AP Art of a classmate. And here are some gesture drawings from figure drawing. Now, when I was in high school, I didn't do a lot of figure drawing at school because they couldn't have nude models there, obviously. So I went to the local community center where they had nude figure drawing. They still have it. I should actually go back. I haven't done figure drawing in a while. At Pratt, the first year you're at Pratt, they make you do basically a general art education suite. They don't have you working in your major for the first year. So you have a drawing class, you have a color theory related class, and you have in the first semester you have like one semester classes that alternate where you could either have sculpture or one called time and movement, which is a lot to do with video editing and like video stuff. Yeah, here's some not nude figure drawings. I worked with graphite in some of these, and then China marker. I'm a big fan of China marker. I think China marker is good if you don't like the texture of graphite, but you want a similar look. Or not graphite, I mean charcoal. If you don't like the texture of charcoal, which I really hate it, China marker is a good compromise. It doesn't blend. That's the trade-off. It's not dusty like charcoal is, but it is similarly dark in tone and kind of makes similar marks. So that is my portfolio, and you'll notice it's pretty small. I didn't include every single thing I thought was worth putting in there. I just tried to get a variety of things and things that showed skills that I had. You know, I think that one was charcoal. Yeah. So I think I'm going to make some other videos about my experience with the 2D animation program and everything, but for now, I'm going to close out this video. I hope it is helpful to you, and if you want to look at these images on your own, you can use the WordPress link up here. Thank you very much. Oh, one more thing. Just so you know, like, don't think of this portfolio as a benchmark or like a lowest, like, standard where you have to be at least this good or whatever to get in. Art skills, you know, first of all, you can be really good at some kinds of art and not as good at others. It's all about how much you've practiced in each. I say on your portfolio, you should show off what you're best at, and how many things you can do. You know, like some of this digital work, right? It's not quite there, but it shows that I can work digitally. That this piece with the kid and the mom in the coffee shop, that's not like the best thing ever, right? But it's variety, right? And then I've got things in here that I still would say are really good, like that, or like these figure drawings. Some of them are really good. Anyway, when you get into art school, you'll meet people who are better at art than you, and you'll also meet people who are worse at art than you. I've certainly met people who are better at cartoon drawing than I am in my class, and at the risk of sounding conceited, I've met some people who are not quite there yet. But that's all to say, like, this is just an example of how my portfolio looked, uh, stuff I had on my portfolio, and maybe it'll make you feel better about how your portfolio is going. Maybe it'll give you some ideas for what to include in your portfolio. Like I said, it should be pretty small, you know, not an overwhelming amount. If you put too much work in your portfolio, the admissions people just aren't going to remember like anything notable about it. Uh, all good stuff to keep in mind. So hope that helped, and I'll talk to you later.